Hello everyone. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Hello. So, so this live session would basically be talking about CUET, which the tricks, the time management, and everything that you need during that exam. And we have taken some of the questions on Instagram also. We would be answering those questions as well. So I will just wait if uh, people join, and we would then start the discussion. You can use the chat box to tell me if I'm audible. Okay, great. Thank you, Manik, for replying and letting me know. Okay. So, see, the basic aim of this live session is to understand CUET, how to prepare, what are material that would be helpful, what all books could be useful, how to manage your time, not only while you're preparing for it, but also how to practice that questions before exam that would help you during the exam also, right? So if you have any question that you want to get answer right now, you can always write in chat box. I'm getting your messages. I would able to see your messages and your questions, and I would try to answer them. Okay. So first of all, I will just give you a common introduction about that. As you know, CUET is an exam which is given before UG and PG, right? We get our colleges, or what you can say your uh, selected subjects in a particular college according to your selection while you're applying for CUET, and it is done before UG and PG. And I would be specifically talking about psychology here. I would be specifically talking about how to prepare psychology for your CUET, and how you can help yourself, or how the steps taken before your exam can actually be helpful in clearing that. So if you all can quickly, just put a hi that you're there. So there was a lot of technical error that was happening, because of which we delayed our live streaming, because there was some echoing that were happening. Thank you, Janki, for letting me know that you are there and it's audible. Okay, so let's first of all start with your UG program. Okay, I would be taking your questions that we have received on Instagram also, and I am first giving you specific pointers that would be helpful for you. Now, as we know that when we are talking about CUET for UG, it would have not only psychology questions but reasoning ability and other abilities also. That is a particular part which is there. Uh, Analytical and reasoning, all these questions are there. So, specifically talking about your psychology part, we have to understand that understanding grade 11 and grade 12 subject matter is very important. Even though in your CBSE syllabus certain chapters have been deleted and are not part of your board examination, but we still recommend that you should go through them once, because we do not know from where it can come, because essentially it is a part of NCRT. And when we talk about one of the most important book while you're preparing for your CUET UG are the NCRTs, and not even in UG, while you're preparing for your PG also, it is always recommended to go through NCRT first, both 11th and 12th. uh, so that is very important, and obviously there will be MCQ questions. And when it comes to PG, you have to prepare for different specialization, like Barron, Morgan, Cicerelli, Minium, Leukel. All these are some of the books that are essential, right? Because there is no, so don't understand that if your college has this syllabus, the PG CUT PG would also have same syllabus. It would differ, right? It only talks about majorly psychology. So that is something we all have to remember. So if you have specific questions that you want me to talk about, you can always put it here, right? And I'm starting taking some of the questions which we have got. So, best reference book to practice for CUET UG. This is one of the questions that we have received. Now, there is no best book. So, if I say, okay, take this, take that, no, that would not be correct. I can tell you the practices that you can do to prepare for CUET UG. While you're preparing for your CUET UG, start working with your NCRT first. Make sure that you're clear with all the concepts. I would recommend even the chapters which are being deleted should be went through properly. Like when I talk about chapter number 3 of grade 11, that is biological basis. When I talk about chapter number 8 and 9 of grade 12, that is recommended on psychological skills. So go through those chapters also, and make sure that while you are studying the content, you are not just doing it to recall but recognition. So this is the major difference when you talk about solving your MCQ questions and solving your lengthy questions. While you're attending your or writing your board examination, you are being expected to recall. So let's suppose the question is what is intelligence. So you would recall, and recall might have just here where information also, but you will still fetch some marks. But when it comes to recognition, there you have to make sure that you are recognizing the correct term. So MCQs work on recognition. Therefore, while you're preparing for your CUETs, it's very important that you focus on recognition rather than just focusing on recall. Okay, that is one of the question which we have received. Then we have also received question that will class 11 syllabus or any other topics will also come in CUT UG, and it is it will be solely based on class 12 syllabus. No, it's a class 11 syllabus also, and not only UG, but as I already mentioned that for PG also, make sure that you are going through NCRT. Please do not leave NCRT. Earlier also, when the concept of CUET was not there, when we used to prepare for our masters entrances, NCRT was a must. So NCRT has always been one of the favorite source of questions for entrance exam. Even when you prepare for net, that's there. So I think there are more people who have been joining. So I'm just repeating and summarizing that till now I've just discussed that how the focus of NCRT is very much important, and even the content that has been deleted from the syllabus of CBSE is recommended to be studied and overviewed. If you have specific question, you can always put in the chat box. I can see your questions and I would be replying here. And currently, I'm just taking the questions which we have received from Instagram. Hi, Nidhi. So, next question is recommended books. So, I was just talking about this only, that when you talk about best book, recommended book, I do not have any answer, because obviously there are number of books in the market. My strategy for preparing my students for CUET and uh, preparing when I was preparing for my entrances, be it NET and masters, my strategy has been focusing on the theoretical books. You can take Cicerelli for at least for PG, because it has given certain MCQ questions. So while you read, you practice, your brain also is trained for recognition activity which I was talking about, that while we are giving any of the entrance, we have to make sure that we are giving importance to the recognition part rather than recalling part. So that's something which is very very important. And for UG, usually do not go far and buy different books. Even when you take any of the help books for your board examination, they also give you one markers, very short question answer, like one word wale. So that can be used for practice. That give you a very good hand on understanding the element of recognition, because board exams also have MCQ as one of the element. When you talk about PG, then any book, okay, be it GRE, be it net, those have a similar thing, so you can always go for that. Obviously, the difficulty level of CUET PG is much lesser than what you call as net and other exams, but I will still recommend to do that. You can also make your own MCQs according to the content. Talking about books of CUET PG, Cicerelli, Morgan is a Bible. Okay, Morgan is a Bible. You cannot think of leaving Morgan at any point of your life if you're in psychology. So Cicerelli, Morgan, abnormal psychology. I have used Barron. You can also use Barron for social psychology. Um you can also go for Lucal. Lucal is one of the book for physiology. If you have weak physiology, right, like working of cells, this portion has been deducted in some of the syllabus of bachelors in some of the universities, but it's a very important concept, not only from the perspective of CUT PG, but also NET net. And I would be taking another live also for NET soon. So I will be discussing that in detail there. And And then when you talk about other books, then Minium. So Minium is one of the book that explains stats very easily. Like at least for me, my concepts became much more easier. But when I talk about Mangal, there are certain corrections that need to be done. Some of the points. So Mangal, I would not recommend, but Minium surely. For research methods, you can go for AK Singh. That is a very good uh, book that is there, and it has a very simple explanation, so it becomes very easier to understand concept. If you want little difficult, a better version, you can go for anesthesia, but that is too, like, it's difficult. Language is difficult in that book, so that is there, which is there. Okay, so these are some of the book recommendations specifically for UG and PG. Then where to study from? Where can I find practice questions? Uh, where you can study from, I think uh, I have already told the books, right? So there's no specific book. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Please do not believe that एक book पढ़ेंगे. Like if I to go for one book and it would be all done and I'm done, I can give my CUT. No, you have to go for different books at least for PG, because it's masters and they do check that whether you have a proper knowledge of the subject or not. Because as I told you, it's more of recognition, right? So Isha said, "Can you please text these books in ending of the session?" So if ebooks are available online, we would try to put it into description, but I cannot assure you that all the ebooks are available, because all are not available as ebooks. You can buy them. Okay. In metro cities, these books are very easily available. You can just go to any of the stationery, or any stationery. Like in Delhi, I can specifically tell you, when you talk about the near Delhi University area, you can all get all these books, and all are easily available. AK Singh is easily available. Minium is easily available, and even Cicerelli, Baron, Morgan, they all are easily available. So you can buy them. Yeah, names I will specifically be putting in the description. Don't worry, I will be putting all the CUT PG books in the description, all the names, so that you can go and get them. uh, if you are a person who are not from psychology background and now want to do your masters in psychology and preparing for CUET, I would recommend you to start from NCRT first, then go for Cicerelli or Morgan. Morgan has a better quality as compared to Cicerelli. So yeah, that's something which is there. uh Okay. See, MCQ mein there are many books that are being used by grade 12 board, like Arihant is there. Then there is Full Marks. They have different MCQs. They have good amount of MCQs in them. And students who are preparing for their UG can always go for that. In addition, you can also check last year papers of board as well as if you get for CUT. I will try to find some of the last year papers of CUT also if I get, and I will share that, like if they are openly available, because it's an online thing. So I'm not sure if those questions would be there somewhere. So because the paper pencil test is no more there. So that is there, but I'm telling you, usually the 11th and 12th is something that you have to be sure with when you're applying for CUT PG, okay, for psychology. Now the major things come is how to prepare. There's a lot of content, I'm preparing for my boards also. I have to prepare for my CUT also. I have to give my best. There's a lot of competition. There are universities, but then jitni universities utna hi we have competition. So how to prepare for your CUT? The guidelines which I'm going to talk, these are certain tips that would be helpful for you and can be applied for both UG and PG level. So usually we get to know at an earlier time, that okay, this exam is happening after 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. It's better you start early. Please do not target of completing everything in a very small period of time. The loss of such studies usually in examinations, entrance exam, is that because my mind already has to work on recognition. So there's MCQ, right? I have to choose the correct option. I do not have to write down what I'm remembering about it. So I have to choose the correct option. So the problem with recognition is that if I'm doing everything at one time, it would get jumbled up and my MCQs would go wrong. This is one of the reasons that people who are actually good also are not able to score. Why? Because they are not able to recognize the correct answer. So do not aim to do everything at one go. Second important factor is, with every topic, practice the questions. Okay. uh, Practice the questions, MCQs only. Don't do it fill ups. Don't do long questions. Only MCQs. Practice. That would train your brain how to recognize. Third thing, balance everything. There are certain people who would, nahi, exam hai, I won't do anything, I won't go out, and all these things. That is not recommended. You need to breathe, you need to live. So please make sure that you're balancing everything. You are not rushing in, and also do not change your expectations from yourself according to others. Okay, my parents expect this from me. Okay, my parosi, my neighbor expect this from me. That's not something that has been a good idea. You have a very realistic goal. Okay, that is something which is very very important. I think Nidhi was writing something. Nidhi, you can write your question if you specifically have, till I'm continuing with what I was talking about. Yeah, so that is very important. Okay, do not change your expectations. Okay, and if so, there's number of, every college would give you a cutoff. So it's okay if you're not coming in one, you will definitely come in another one. Or do not stress yourself कि नहीं हो पाएगा, नहीं हो पाएगा. I would also be sharing a link of books there. You can, at least read certain notes, easy tips, because anyhow it would be recognition. So books that convert notes into flow charts, that can be used, because that would give you easy recognition and easier your memory would be. So these are certain tips that are very very important while you're preparing for it. Do not talk about how much you have done. You might want to talk about, okay, what all resources you are using is fine, but do not talk a lot about what net, because that stresses, that doesn't help you. Okay, you will be listening to them. Okay, yeah, I have done this, I have done this. That creates problem for you only, because you become anxious. Oh my god, I'm left for all those things. So do not discuss a lot about that. Okay, make your practice, do at your pace. Do not assume yourself to be someone, or do not try to be someone else. So that's something which is very 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 important. Now I think if you have certain questions, you can ask. uh, Anything you would like to know more about preparations and all those things, please go ahead. Also, till you guys are writing your questions, also I've seen one tendency in students while they are preparing for CUET. There are two types of students. Either they will believe, okay, I will not able to do it, sab kuch aata hai. See, try to be in between. Okay. Do not get too anxious. You have already given boards. At least for UG, you have already given boards. You know what is there in NCRT. You know. So you are not that unprepared. You have to prepare your mind more for MCQs. Okay. But before going to MCQ, make sure that you at least go through the chapters which has been deleted by CBSE. I'm repeating this again and again, that going through the deleted chapters of CBSE is recommended. Please do not leave them pura, like, no, I'm not taking care of them. That is not recommended. And for students who are preparing for PG, yes, it's difficult. It's not difficult because you do not know the course content. It is difficult because there's a lot of competition. So the more you will practice questions would be helpful for you rather than just going through the content. Okay. I would be putting as many as resources possible in the description below, right? Okay. So no more questions. Anything that you would like to talk about? So I'm just summarizing the things in between. If you uh, get some question, please ask in the chat box. So in totality, CUET is an exam that has been uh, used for UG and PG entrances now to get in your bachelor's and master's. The major books to be focused, at least for CUET UG, is NCRT grade 11 and grade 12. For PG, yes, NCRT has to be focused. Along with that, you have to go to Barron, Morgan, Cicerelli, Minnam, a book of social psychology. Barron is something that you can always go for. You can also do a glimpse of organizational psychology. Robin book is there, and Lucal for physiology. Uh, the pattern of questions in both CUT, UG, and PG is MCQ. So you have to make your brain work for the recognition rather than recall. Now, what is the difference between recognition and recall? Because everything. So how to prepare your mind for recognition is only through practicing, nothing else. Because you have already given exam that have prepared your brain to recall, but we do not require that on entrance exams. Uh, how to grab these books is go. I will try if any ebook is easily available on the, like, openly available. If not, then I recommend to buy them, because anyhow you will require in your future also if you are planning to go in academia. Uh, Also, practicing is very important. Please do not think, if I was not able to write long answers, I will also not able to clear them. No, that's not the case. I would be writing the recommended books in the description so that you can see the list of the books and use them. Mm, how to, from where you can practice MCQ was one of the major question. Um, I've already told you for grade 12, Aryan, full marks, all these things, all these books give you a good amount of questions. Other than that, also take last year papers and of your boards and everything. That is very important. Um, that's there. We should start CUT preparation right now or after boards, and right now should only focus on boards. See, I would recommend to right now focus on board, but while you are doing your content, make sure that you are doing it for a long term, not for short term. So do not do your content ke board ho gaya and it's done. You know that you have to give your CUET and you have to give in your subject. So it's better that you prepare according to that. Anyhow, even if you're preparing for your MCQs, you have to go through the content. You have to do it. So it's better do it in that format. Try to make your own flowchart notes so that when you're preparing for your CUT, that are helpful. I would try to keep some names of the book in the description also, that gives you a flowchart format. Reasoning questions, MCQ questions, all these questions are there, and you like CUT UG has two parts: reasoning and the subject matter. So both need to be the it's combination of reasoning and MCQ. Um, okay, so Nidhi, if you're specifically talking about colleges, that which college I should go for, if you ask my recommendation and my thought process, I feel that all colleges are same. Okay, all universities are same. It majorly depend on you as a student. You have to explore your things. But still, if you want from Delhi universities, some of the good colleges which have a good name, okay, is LSR, JMC, IP, and Dolatram. For psychology, these are good. And Keshav Mahavidyalaya is also like I'm pass out of Keshav Mahavidyalaya, so I know faculty and everything. So that's also good. At my time, psychology just started there, but now they have a well established psychology department also, and it's good. And these 4 5 are actually good. I've taken aim for IP, I think. And there is an option of applied psychology also. People also ask me what is the difference between psychology and applied psychology. So the difference between psychology and applied psychology is the form of practicals you are going to do. In applied psychology, you are going to be more in the field and less of theoretical things. So that's the major difference. And I would recommend fill all in all the colleges. Okay, do not think okay this is good and this is bad. At the end, when you will get the degree, it's of Delhi University. It's not of college. So you won't get a degree mentioning that you have done your bachelor's from Keshav Mahavidyalaya or DRC. It's same at the end. So focus on college. Now, I remember when I was selecting my bachelor's, one of my teachers said that either you can be college oriented or course oriented. If you're course oriented, please, please, please take all the colleges possible in the university you're choosing. Do not do selective. Mata Sundari is also there for psychology, and DRC is there, Mata Sundari is there. Yeah, these are some of the good colleges. When is your my PG entrance exam coaching is starting for 2025? I plan to start in March or April, um, because there's a lot to be covered and there would be examination series also. So yeah, we are planning to start in March and April. You can keep checking our website. You will get an update in the tutoring programs about tabs. So that's there. Yeah, and so majorly the fact is, that you should know what you're studying. Don't just do it in anxiety. कि नहीं होगा. You will eventually do, and practice is something which is required. What people do usually is they try, acha, theek hai. So I will just, read and go. Reading and going won't help you. You can take a written note from it. The reason being, you are grabbing everything. Recognition is very much different than recall. So that's something very important. Okay. So if you guys have any other question, I think, or else we can um, end the stream. I hope your questions have been answered and it gave you certain clarity how to prepare. I'm just summarizing what I believe. Is there any recommendation for university from your side for MA applied psychology? And also, general psych is better, or any specialization is good for my career? Okay. Um, See, when you do general psychology, usually what people are very confused about which career I have to take. Now, till the time you do not know what that career talks about, it becomes difficult. So, what I did personally was I did BA psychology, MA applied psychology. So, it gave me touch of both, and I became more clear about different fields. So in MA applied psychology, we studied everything. We studied OB, clinical, cognitive. So I got my interest. So, but according to the national education policy that has been in 2020, and talking about MPhil being discarded, if new nomenclature is not being given to MPhil, I feel taking one specialization would be better. And how to select that, if you that would be your next question, I feel that is something you can go with your career counseling, understanding your interest and personality, because There's no one else who can tell you this. And universities for applied psychology, I think Delhi University then, because I have also done my masters in applied psychology from Delhi University, and I know the form of practicals we have done. I'm not sure about the current status, but yes, when I did my applied psychology, it was good. And moreover, up to many private universities are also there which are giving good exposure, so you might want to try them also if you do not are not interested in government institutes, which is becoming one of the thought process for many other students. Yes, any other question, guys? Anything you would like to ask about maybe psychology or colleges? So the crux is, do not get stressed, okay? Focus on your preparation. You know that you will do it, okay? Uh, there is competition, and trust me, clearing the exam is not difficult. It's not difficult. The thing is that you have to be best in that exam. That's the major goal. Like, there would be x number of people competing for y number of seats, so that becomes difficult. So do not worry about exam would be difficult, I won't know something, that would be there. You will know everything, but you have to do your best, okay? So do not stress yourself, do not leave your socialization, relaxation for these exams. Socialize, relax, and balance. uh, have good sleep. Do not reduce your quality and quantity of your sleep. Your sleep is very important for make your brain ready for learning new material. Do not skip meals. Have healthy diet, otherwise again you would have more of fatigue, frustrations. And do not over expect, okay? uh, as I told you, either be college oriented or course oriented. If you goal at psychology, then psychology is the goal. Not DUC psychology, not BHUC psychology, it's psychology. I have been taking example of university, but I think you got my point that whatever you are aiming at should be the course oriented rather than the uh, college or university oriented. Okay. Okay, so I hope I answered your questions, and those people who asked on Instagram also got their answers. So I think I will end this live. And still, if you have some questions, you will have comment box as soon as the recording would be posted. Put your questions there. If you have any questions, put it there. I would be answering it there. Okay. Thank you so much for joining in and making the session interactive and asking me all these questions. Thank you so much, guys. See you all.